This is why I go to Mexico. I've been back for 2 weeks, and this is our 4th snowstorm. And it is very, very cold. Very cold. Curb. Good morning, good morning. Well, these guys are trying to get ready for the opening of the supermarket there. They open at 7. And you can see this hill is deceptive. You find out whose car can go up a little bit of a hill in the snow. This is the 3rd storm since I've been back in New Hampshire, and I've only been back a week. So I'd say that this winter we're gonna get some snow, which the precipitation is needed. New Hampshire has been in a drought for this past year. It's deceptive because it's not really talked about. But you go up to the lakes and you see that the lakes are about half or even less than half full now. In fact, I go to some lakes up north that I've gone to for years, and you see tree stumps at the bottom of the lakes that you've never seen before, and rocks, and sometimes you see the bottom of the lakes. And the weather forecast on the internet predicted 10 inches of snow, which sounded crazy high. But the local TV station predicted 3 to 6. And then you have these guys who do the sidewalks. Much easier walking on the sidewalks after they've gone. My friend Carolina painted these boxes. They paint the utility boxes in town to make it look nicer. And during a snowstorm, there should be a white light blinking up on top of there, but I don't see it. It's not blinking. That signals a snow emergency, so they must consider this as a storm being over. And I do believe it's supposed to switch over to freezing rain in a couple hours. Yeah, we probably, the snow from the first storm melted within a day. The second storm hung around a few days. And this one, yeah, based on that, I'd say that looks like 3 inches. Probably. Maybe a little bit more. Might be 4 or 5. And I have my muck boots on. They really are wonderful. Uh-oh, what's this? People drive. A lot of New Yorkers moving up here because where I live, it's very economical for the Northeast. In fact, I'd say New Hampshire is probably the most economical state for the value you get. That's my opinion, but I did a lot of research on this before I moved up here. New Hampshire's not perfect, don't get me wrong. And unfortunately, a lot of the riffraff from New England are moving up here in the Northeast, from New York, Massachusetts. We're getting a lot of very, very bad people. And not just bad people, even more unproductive people who just suck on the system. And New Hampshire's really not equipped for that. Yeah, all-wheel drive definitely helps, but doesn't help you stop on that stuff. These giant buckets on the tractors. The red bucket there, it pushes the snow. It's really cool. It's so they don't lift it, they just push it all. Yeah, when I got back, gas was $1.95, and in a week it's gone up to $2.09. See, this is the bucket I was talking about on those tractors right there. Oop, there's actually an ordinance, I think, that these things should have been picked up a week after the election, and we're in December. And I don't know if she won or lost, because I wasn't here. I actually contacted her in her office. Ting Ting applied for a visa to come to the U.S. It's a long story, I can tell another time. But she was rejected by the U.S. Embassy in Beijing. And that wasn't unexpected. But I turned to my congressperson, who was Carol Shea Porter at the time. And her office was very nice, but they couldn't do anything. And it's something that that really was a little frustrating, because, you know, I could have figured out a way to bring her over here illegally and have her stay. But I tried to go through the proper channels, and it's a long, drawn out. It would have cost me, I forget the numbers now, but it would have cost me thousands of dollars to bring her over here through one of the legal methods. So I was trying to avoid doing that, because I'm not a Donald Trump rich guy, so if I can avoid spending tens of thousands of dollars, and it's because Chinese women, Chinese single women, or let me rephrase that, single Chinese women who are young are discriminated against by the U.S. government. They don't want them here because they believe that they'll stay here. The only exception to that is if you are going to school typically for your master's. Undergrad, they come over, Chinese come over, but you'll find a lot more Chinese who come over for their masters or their PhDs. And they figure if those people stay, you know, they have a skill, and they typically grant them work visas to stay a year to find a job afterwards. I personally believe, you know, the whole thing with the wall, I don't believe in any of that stuff from the standpoint of, if somebody wants to come to the United States, or somebody wants to go to China, or somebody wants to go to Mexico or Brazil or wherever they want to go, if they go to that country and they're a productive member of society, I think every country would be happy to have those type of people. And if the government is so warped here that they bring in people who are not productive to society. Like in Manchester here, we're a tiny city. I mean, there's only 100,000 people in the city, and the state's only 1.2 million. So a lot of these refugees who come here, and they're brought in through the International Institute and these quote-unquote groups that are, and what they do is they get money to bring in people, and thought he was going to move. They get money, they bring in people, and they have enough money to support them for a year, and then they stop supporting them. And these people come over here from Africa, or most of the ones coming in now are Africans. When I first moved up here, it was Croatians and various Yugoslavs, Croatians, Serbians. They brought hundreds here. Actually, I think they might have brought 7,000 here, if I remember correctly. But those people, from what I remember, didn't really rely on government assistance. I remember I had a guy help me paint my house who was from Serbia. Very nice guy. Hard-working. But the Africans coming over here, most of them have zero skills. There was a woman who called the police one time because she wanted to cook her goat, or the firemen were called because she wanted to cook a goat. So on top of she was told that the stove is how you cook. So she made a fire on top of her stove and was cooking her goat. And she almost burned the house down. I mean, these people, there was another story that I remember in the news where these people didn't even know how to walk upstairs, because where they came from in Africa, they'd never seen stairs. So they're like, what do I do with these? If you can believe that. That's crazy. But the contention of the people in power is that they need people to do this, you know, the jobs that nobody else wants, until they can get artificial intelligence to do those jobs for them. And then those people won't be needed anymore. This is an excellent supermarket. It's only about 4 years old. The only problem is when you go there, they never have enough clerks on. They'll have like 3 or 4 registers open. So it always takes me more time to wait in line than it does to find my stuff. I go in, I find my stuff, I go to the line, and no matter how long it takes me to find my stuff, it takes at least as long to wait in line, if not more. See, if he had that red bucket, it'd do his job 2 to 3 times faster. I don't know why that other guy isn't moving. Must be taking his coffee break. Yeah, these popular vehicles. Yep. Massachusetts, New York. 2 most popular license plates you'll see up here, other than New Hampshire. We're only 50 miles from Boston, so that makes sense. I'm going to make myself some bacon and eggs when I get back. I just want to look at this hill again. You can do it! That's the same car as mine. My car does not do well on these type of hills. It will make this one, but not much steeper. Now he's a brave guy. No, I'm sure that's a rear-wheel drive car. Leaving the car out here I mean, would you trust that somebody's not going to slide into you? Ay, ay, ay. Don't get in his way. Wow. That bus is going way too fast. Yep. Going through the red light. It's one thing to do that on a dry day, but to do that in bad weather, you are inviting a T-bone. Following way too close. Going down a hill of ice. If that truck hadn't gone down there, that guy hitting his brakes like that probably would have spun out. There's a guy in the Porsche again. I don't know what he's doing. Look at this joker. He almost spun out. He's a good enough driver where he could correct it, but I think people forget how to drive in this weather until they get into it, and then they're like, uh-oh. I don't know who they are. A Miata or Mazda something. No turn signal. You can hear a plane above me, but you can't see him. Yeah, this is one of the runways, one of the arrival paths goes right over here. They have about 30 of these buses. This school is the one that has all the Chinese in it. Probably 400 Chinese. And in the last 5 years, they have really done an incredible job. Whoever's expanding that school. You can see over on the Civic Center, they kicked off Horizon and they've now got SNHU Arena. So they've done extremely well. Making a lot of money at that school. Their campus is right on the river that I go kayaking on, where that seaplane, I have a video of a seaplane taking off, which is not too far from their campus. Now, do you notice the difference? How many horns have you heard in all the time I've been filming here? In China, all you'd hear are horns. Unless somebody does something, you know, unless somebody's asleep at the wheel at a light or somebody does something really crazy, you typically won't hear as many horns. Now, if I go into New York and Boston, maybe it will be a little bit louder. That's an illegal turn. But that guy has some front end damage, the one who stopped, so my guess is he probably had the right of way before and was smacked and said, well, it's not worth it. No turn signal. I have a Focus wagon, and I went around North America and Canada, and the U.S. in that. And that last vehicle that turned, it had the higher roof. If I had had the higher roof, it would have been a perfect vehicle. Because not having headroom makes it a little difficult. How you doing?
How we doing?
Money
This is just the beginning. We're gonna get a lot more of the good stuff. All right, you know, I ordered this, but I ordered it up from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Like a snowmobile. Can't snowmobile this right now because they're gonna work.
Well, this is when you make your money, right?
Yeah.
Overtime after overtime.
No, I'm salaried.
Oh, you're salaried? Oh, that stinks.
The one and only guy on salary in the company.
All right, be safe.
Take it easy.
You too.
Merry Christmas.
You too. All right. Yeah, watch where you're going. God, I hope he hasn't been drinking. I remember the owner telling me that he put his guys on salaried so that they could have a guaranteed pay. Instead, normally what those guys do is a lot of times those companies will hire guys for a couple months and then lay them off. So the people who work for him, they don't make the big paydays on days like this. Because I knew, even the mailmen are nuts. You see how these cars don't clear off their roofs? There actually is a law in New Hampshire now. And it was more because of the trucks, but I think it's all vehicles. And here comes another one. You see how they didn't want to clean off the roof? There was a little girl killed about 10 years ago when a truck had snow that it didn't clean off, flew off and caused an accident. And the law is the little girl's name. I don't remember her name. The state has gotten a lot stricter on these type of you know, the logo, the motto of the state of New Hampshire is live free or die. So when I first moved up here, there weren't as many laws as there are now. In the last 15 years, a lot of New Yorkers and Mass holes have moved up here. And they love regulation, they love big government, and it's been a battle. Yeah, when I first moved up here, there was one taxi company, maybe two. But they weren't taxis that were yellow. They were typically just somebody's car. And they put a magnetic sticker on the side of it. And they were registered as taxis. Now there's a couple companies up here that have new vehicles, and I think it's tied to where we got a lot of people coming up here who are on food stamps, and you see them around the 5th of the month is when they get it, and you'll see the taxis coming here all day long. See the guy with the shovel over there? You see him with the reflective coat? Reminds me of when I was a kid. When it snowed like this, I'd get together with my friends, and there'd be 3, 4, 5 of us with shovels, and we'd go door to door, asking, especially the elderly, saying, hey, $20 to do your driveway, $10 to do whatever it was, and we'd bang that thing out in 10 minutes. And it was not unusual to make several $100s split between you. And this was 30 years ago. Actually, longer than 30 years ago. Howdy. Look at that thing. That's how you do it, man. Won't take you long to clean a parking lot with that thing. Although, look at that giant pile. wait. Where's he gonna put it? That doesn't make much sense, using that small little vehicle doing that. Paul, your van looks like it got hit. Look at it. Although that
Oh, it's a little one. I used to drive a 938 till it stopped.
which one's the little
We're
one?
all hooked up as far as, radio, heat and shit.
Yeah, very comfortable.
But you can't even see the snow. You know what
Yeah,
I
he
mean?
wanted to move this pile, but that bus is in the way.
You working here?
No, I just,
What's the matter with that bus?
yeah, I think that must be on break. It's one of the city ones, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I don't see anybody in it. They probably went in for a coffee.
Taking pictures?
Yeah, video. Yeah.
Video of the first stop.
Well, first big one. See, a lot easier with the other scoop than this one. The only advantage is you can lift the snow and so you can lift it and put it into the grass. See that woman doing she's doing her eye makeup and taking a turn. She must be very skilled to be able to do that. He probably has old crappy tires on that thing. And it's a Honda, I believe, so I think all Hondas are rear-wheel drive. Another one of those beasts. This guy in the Porsche again. What the hell is he doing? Going down the road sideways, I guess. This is why you should not come on the middle of the road. Naughty, naughty. I don't know why this guy's inching up. He's not going to make the light, but he's going to turn. That much I can guarantee you. He's going to turn, or she. It's a red light, but they're going. Sand coming off, but he is plowing. Uh-oh. But you'll see a lot of people going to the junkyard on Monday, picking up all the stuff people put out on the weekend. Look at this idiot, going right through the red light. Not a very good driver. The guy, the sidewalk guy, was beeping at him, so instead of backing up, he starts to go through the intersection. Happy holidays, not in service. Oh, I love these tractors coming down the road here. These things, you see these on the highways a lot. They move a lot of snow.